Welcome back. I am Freight Train. What's going on, my Freight Nation, my Freight Ones, all my viewers? How's it going, fam? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this video. Today, let's go ahead and start off with the free summons right now. See if we can pull some fire. But today, I want to go ahead and talk about, Shinobi potential one-on-one. How to pick a Shinobi? Okay, did we get that 4-star? Let go, Froggy. Come on, for the team. Hold on, for the team. No, I knew it was going to do it. Anyhow, we're going to talk about how to pick a Shinobi, how to, judge, make a good selection on a Shinobi, and everything in regards to, when a new Shinobi comes out, or if you're looking at a Shinobi, how good they actually are, okay, to kind of simplify it. Also, the Shinobi type does make a big difference. I'll actually make another video about that, which I believe what Shinobi type I believe is the best pick anyhow. But we'll go into that again in another video. So when you're looking at a Shinobi, it's kind of give you a little bit of a background to show the basis of what I'm going to say. This is how the game's laid out. You have, your regular missions, story missions, you have roundup missions, and you have special missions. Now these 3 missions up top here, you can have a C rank, I guess tier list, if you look at anyone's tier list, C rank Shinobi, and be able to complete these. Even, B rank obviously, but a C rank Shinobi could pretty much do all these. Attack mission is where you have to be a little more strategic and put a good set of Shinobi together, as well as have a strong Shinobi. And as far as surprise attack missions, as long as you have the special featured ninja or Shinobi, then you're going to be okay. So surprise attack missions is just based on getting the featured Shinobi, to be honest. And then there's some, non-featured Shinobi you can use, but I mean, you're going to be up a creek without a paddle of getting points to actually get any significant amount to actually even get that. So that is how the game is laid out. And then again, attack missions is the bread and butter of the game. This is what the game is basically based on and about after you complete all the extra side stuff. So when looking at a Shinobi and seeing how vital they are, the first thing, because as you guys know, and we'll look at a base, is we'll look at my base, is being able to evade traps, and specifically the tornado trap. Everybody knows the tornado trap is probably the most annoying trap in the game. Very useful though, and if you have a Shinobi that cannot evade that, they automatically get dropped down from SS, S, A, and sometimes even they just fall in B rank tier lists on the average. So that significantly will hurt a Shinobi's tier ranking. So that's the first main basis of any Shinobi, is how well they can evade traps. And that's why teleport rather, is a very useful jutsu in the game. Any type of teleport is a very useful jutsu, and as most know, Itachi here was one of the first to use it. Okay, 1% cooldown, 40 cost. You're going to be able to just zap everywhere. Now, teleport is not only useful just for evading traps, but it's also useful for dodging, dodging attacks, ultimates, so on and so forth. So when you look at a Shinobi, that's the first basis you have to look at, is how well, other than the unit type, but how well the featured Shinobi or Shinobi you're going to invest in can evade traps. Now we know that Kakashi here has his new new 4-star that does that. So you can already check that off the list. If they can do that, they're at least just off of, they're at least B tier. Easy. Again, not having that probably even drops you to, like I said, somewhere even near, like I said, low B tier, even C tier. The next thing is abilities, okay? And the main 2 abilities that are really hold true in Naruto right now. We'll kind of watch a thing is damage over time. Okay, and poison. Now poison came out first. Entered into the game. If you guys are veteran players, poison came into the game first. So that was our first kind of damage over time, and then we finally got damage over time, months later. So those two things are vital as well when you're looking at a shinobi, because you're going to have, everybody does damage, but you want to see who can enhance damage as well. Those go hand in hand. Damage over time go hand in hand with, the same exact effects as well. With Seal, probably being one of the, one of the best, if not second best, importance to have in a shinobi, is how well they can seal. Hashirama there, he's really good with the seal. I mean, the resistance are okay, but it's not that significant on the scales that we're talking right now. So again, being able to evade over traps and then effects are definitely big factors in evaluating the shinobi. So you want to make sure that the shinobi, like this Naruto here that he is, Kurama Link Naruto, is very, he'll probably be a support, will always be used in the game. The heal there, which is crazy, you definitely have to always have a healer. But his heal, as you can see, does also gives invincibility, which is going to be essential not only to heal his people, but take off any negative effects that they have on them. So the invincibility is also in that tier thing too, but anything that negates it, Shizune, for all the veteran players know, when she first got her ult, that was something that kind of changed the game. So what they're doing now with these shinobi are actually, because they probably pretty much hit all the elements that they'll probably add into the game. If they, I can't see them doing anything else other than, I don't know. I can't see them doing anything else. We pretty much have a respawn with Danzo. We have the damage and poison over time. We have invincibility. We have speed boost. Attack, defense, critical boost, evasion boost. So I can't see what else they might do other than prolong or keep mixing and matching abilities into a shinobi. Now iframes are very important as well too. So you gotta consider iframes. It's probably one of the last few things you want to consider when evaluating a shinobi. Shinobi is only as good as an iframe as well. As many iframes they have as well. If they only have the iframe with the ultimate, which everybody does, that also drops that same shinobi down on that tier list. See that seal right there is really good. As you can see, what his name, Hashirama did. But as you can see, the effects help, kind of help lay out or level out the disadvantage you might have with somebody who's overpowered. So that's why I'm saying that the effects are really good as well. This guy's taking a while. Say what? Took way too long. He should just went ahead and try to kill him. Or I don't know. Anyhow. So those are a couple things you want to look at when evaluating. Like I said, the iframe is very important with their ninjutsu set. You want to be able to, if they have some iframe ability in their ninjutsu where you don't have to wait for an ultimate, that is obviously preferred. So these are, when we're talking about meta, these are things that we're looking for. And that's where you should base, all the assumptions on how good a shinobi is, and if they're meta or if they're worth even summoning for. You also have to look at the, not just as a main, because you always want to look at it from a main's perspective, but you also have to look at it from a support perspective. So the supports, this being a support character as well, The speed boost would be nice, but I mean, I think he only does it for himself. Yeah, I think he only does it for himself. Yeah. And his effects for the team aren't that vital or complementary with, probably other shinobi you might have. Um, Again, the setting off the traps, I think this rekit, again, was more for a rekit for making Kakashi double shotting gun more of a main character. And So, I mean, and I don't know how many iframes he has or doesn't have, but you got to look at that as well too. You always have to consider, obviously, looking and trying to see what you're going to have for the next Sam, but you also have to just keep in mind again how far or and how much you can use this character before you leave him on the back burner. I hope that kind of breaks down a little bit what you should look for in showing and seeing the potential of each shinobi that you might have and that might be in your set. So look that out. I mean, look that up. Look into it. Again, there's a lot of other factors like CP, shinobi type that play, somewhat of a factor into the shinobi, and of course how long their cooldowns are. But those are just a basis of looking at a shinobi. They have to meet those criteria. So kind of again, recap is, you want to look at basically, like I said, iframe potential in between the ninjutsu, which, like I said, this Sasuke is, what he has also an iframe and can evade, again, iframe with this jutsu. The next thing would be evading traps. This helps him evade traps as well. So, like I said, a teleport, the effects as well also play a big part in what type or how to rank the shinobi, what effects they do have. Obviously, the more effects, the better. And again, seal and invincibility being kind of the top two for purposes of support, and then any type of poison and damage over time as far as attacking and aggressing. So, and what was that? What else was there? I'm pretty sure. So, like I said, I think those are kind of in the top three. The and then looking at the player from a support, but you want to look at them from a main perspective first. So I hope that kind of breaks down why certain shinobi, make a certain place in certain people's tier list, and these are, those are the certain factors. Of course, again, along with what else they apply to the team, and obviously to the base. So, but there's tons of shinobi. I really didn't go over base because there's tons of shinobi that you can use to help complement your base, and your base is ultimately dependent on how you set it up with the traps. So, if you guys did, hopefully it helped you guys out a little bit. If you guys did enjoy the video, do drop a like. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe, and I'll come at you guys with some more content in the future. You guys grind. I will too. Take care.